Welcome back to the channel and welcome to the perfect van life. I'm out here off the beaten path at a beautiful mountain surrounded lake. I'm by myself, living the dream. It's just me, my van, and my canoe, and I guess you. Let's go. So I'm just out here with the van and I just hit the gravel road and that is where I'm headed. But first things first, I'm gonna deflate my tires a little bit to make the road a little bit smoother. But yeah, I got my van, I got my canoe, and we are going camping for the night. And we're off. In this episode, I'm not gonna tell you where I'm going, but just know that I was jonesing for a good time, and that's what I'm after here. I built this van for trips exactly like this, getting off the beaten path and exploring places less traveled. But for the last couple of years, which is most of this van's life, I've been very much on the beaten path, which on one hand is totally fine. I have not lacked in cool places visited, but I did start to crave some gravel. I missed all the banging and clanging, the dust-filled lungs, and the sense of adventure that you can only find at the end of a gravel road. And that's what this trip is about, getting back to my roots. That's awesome. There's a bear right there. He was on the road and scurried up there before I could get a good close-up of him, but you know, we're in the wilderness now. So I just pulled up to the first campsite I've seen, and I'm probably not going to stay here, but I'm going to walk down to the lake to check it out and to show you how nice this lake is. So let's go. There, so you can see the van. It did get a little bit warm coming up some of that hill, the steep stuff, but then I shifted down to first gear and it seemed like it was fine. So it does have me a little bit concerned because it should not be getting warm. I have a whole new cooling system, and it's not that hot today. Anyways, I think I'm gonna head down here. This place is this place is pretty rad. Let's get to the shoreline here for the big reveal. That was definitely worth the bumpy road. It should be a good night here. I got the canoe, so almost certainly going canoeing in the morning unless the weather is terrible by some crazy reason, but it's absolutely beautiful right now. And I did not look at a forecast, so I always just assume it's going to be just as good now, or just as good in the future as it is now. So it should be, like I said, good night, good day. But yeah, I think I'll just walk around a bit, and then there's a car over there with a person on it. So there's definitely more beaches here, at least one. I'm not sure if they're camping there or not. I don't want to cramp anybody's style. But yeah, we'll check this out and then we'll head down and look for more spots. Well, this is the spot. The view is not quite as awesome as it was at that first spot. I did think about coming back, but the way this is down in the woods here, first of all, it feels like more of an adventure to come down here. But second, I think it'll be more private. That first one, there'll be cars, potentially cars coming up and down the road. I don't really want that, so I'll suffer with a slightly worse view. Still a good view. Yeah, that was a long drive. That was a long drive. I've had a pretty big day, but I think I will enjoy myself for a minute here, and then I'll set up camp, and well, then I'll enjoy myself further. Welcome to my cooking show. Today I'm making tortellini with Italian sausage. So first things first, I got my outbound grill heating up here. And then I got 2 pots of water that are on to boil. I only have small pots, so I have to do 2. Because I got 1 pot for broccoli, and the other one's gonna be for my tortellini here. I got 4 cheese rainbow tortellini. And then this is my Italian sausage. It's Johnsonville. I will open it up and throw it on this barbecue or this mini grill when I heat it up. I've had quite a few people, well, at least one person, ask me what I think of this grill. And it is awesome for what it can cook, but it definitely does not fully replace a barbecue. But anyways, it's gonna cook my Italian sausage nicely. I was thinking about doing it on the fire, but I've decided to wait a little bit and just make a fire once it gets dark. It's not dark, even though the sun has set in behind me. Anyways, beautiful setting. Should be a good dinner. Yeah, I got 2 pots of water boiling. So we'll go broccoli in one. We'll go tortellini in the other. I think tortellini says it'll take 6 to 8 minutes. It ain't rocket science. Okay, broccoli is done. Ooh. And we are going to, we're gonna go use I have this weird silicone pot, and it's got a lid strainer, easy to use. That is hot.
It's got a lid strainer, easy to use.
That is hot.
Easy to use.
Hot damn. That lid flap, pot flap was hot. And then these, probably use another minute. Flip this. Kind of charred these a bit, but it'll be totally fine. This barbecue didn't not working as good as I made it sound like it was gonna work. We'll go in there. Okay. Tortellini. Then we're gonna go with the Classico Rosé sauce. Classico Rosé going in. There are a lot of mosquitoes around here. This is kind of gross. I'm gonna turn this on a bit. Get some heat going. Okay. Oh, those mosquitoes, yuck. And the sausage is getting close here. My timing isn't great, but it'll do. I'm gonna light a fire quick. The fire started going. These are homemade, by the way. Oh, wood going. Okay, these sausages are ready to go. I'm gonna turn them off. I'm gonna let them cool down a minute before I go to cut them up. But we're good to go. I also want to note, I have this little mosquito repellent thing by Flextail that I fired up. I'm gonna see if it does anything. I'm not 100% sure how it works. There's a green light and a red light, and one of those lights means it's on, the other means it's off, and I don't know which one it was. So we'll see about that, but this is pretty much ready to go here. My stuff is still hot. Oh yeah, that is looking good. Okay, I'll pop a sausage off, slice it up. Let's go cheese. I have some extra old cheddar cheese, which is not the ideal cheese for this, but when you're living in a van, how many types of cheeses are you gonna have? And we're gonna get this crappy cheese grater going. This is weird. It feels like it's upside down. Anyways, let's do it in reverse actually. Cheese grate, a little cheese on there. I'll take that sausage and put it on top. And there we go. You got some Italian sausage, tortellini with rosé sauce. Pretty good. Get a piece of sausage this time. Mmm. Mmm. That's so good. Italian sausage is just perfect. Anyways, these mosquitoes are terrible. Let's stand by the fire, admire my view, eat the rest of dinner, yada yada yada. That concludes this portion of my cooking show. And that pretty much concludes the rest of the night too. I ate the rest of my dinner, washed my dishes, admired the view, then kicked back by the fire for the rest of the night. Well, good morning. It's about 9:30 today. I had definitely a late start getting out of bed this morning, but the weather was not ideal. As you can see, it was raining, and believe it or not, there was a ton of gray skies up there. So I just hung out in the van for a while, and I used the facilities this morning. I got to test out my new porta potty. It worked great. Not show you this time because I've been told I show too much on this channel, which is true. But anyways, I've started my day proper now. I think I'm gonna take the rest of this firewood and make a little fire because it is a little chilly. I got 2 long sleeves on and it's still chilly. And as I wait for the sun to come out, I'm gonna have a fire, make some breakfast, and then I'm gonna go out on that lake, go canoeing. I think the plan is gonna go down here a ways. That's where the view was the other day, so I'm gonna see if I can get closer to those mountains and hopefully have a pretty epic view. I do not really know what to expect, but anyways, I'm gonna have a fire, make some breakfast, and then go canoeing. So breakfast is served. I got a nice breakfast hash because there's no better way to start a day than with a breakfast hash. I got all my wood on the fire. All that wood needs to be burned out totally. That fire needs to be totally out before we go canoeing. And I want to note over here, weather looks substantially better than it did before. So that'll be nice. So I'm just gonna eat my breakfast and then make sure my fire's out, and then we're going canoeing. Okay, we are in the canoe. We are headed that way. We're gonna try to get to the end of the lake. I will note there's a lot of little logs in here. So I do not know if there's gonna be a bunch in the rest of the lake, but I'm just gonna pay attention, make sure I'm not running over something that's just under the ground. And yeah, with that being said, let's go canoeing, go explore. I hope it clears up. I just hope it clears up because it's a little cloudy, obscuring my view, and it would be nice. Sorry, I'm getting a little close to this log here. Anyways, I really would hope it clear up and open up my views so I got a full panoramic view. And yeah, let's go. So I'm officially at the end of the lake. I wanted to pull ashore, but there's not that much good space to pull ashore. So I just kind of stopped here in these reeds. But it did get quite windy just here at the end. And I really wanted to fly my drone. But now with the wind, I do not think that is feasible. So, and since there's no place to stop, you can see I'm getting blown. But since there's no good place to stop and the wind picked up, I'm gonna head back towards the shore and then head back towards camp. A little bit of a bummer, I wanted to fly my drone, but you know, you can't win them all. But it's still a pretty nice view behind me and pretty nice view in front of me. So with that being said, let's just head back to camp. This wind is, I guess it's like a side tailwind, but it's definitely picking up. So I have not paddled one time. I was just taking a quick break here, and I've gone so far. I honestly think this wind will blow me back if back to camp if I let it. Anyway, it's pretty crazy. Just not ideal. Not ideal indeed. From here on out, this wind never went away. In fact, it got worse. I'm not going to pretend like it was a life and death situation, but I still didn't like it. I came out here to live my perfect van life, and this wind didn't let me do it. Instead, I got humbled. I barely even got my arms loose before it was time to go home. But damn, I'm ready to get off this lake. Well, that ended up being quite a lot sketchier than I would have anticipated. And that was a little tough actually getting back, but it's good to get some practice in less than ideal conditions because you cannot always choose your conditions. But just look at that wind. Pretty ominous looking sky. But anyways, I guess that's it. I gotta load up my boat and then we gotta head out of here. That's it. The perfect van life. Didn't end so perfect, but I guess that just shows you never know how quickly things can change. One day you're doing great, one day you're not. Peace.